Hello everybody! Today we're going to see how I draw Ming Fleetfoot from JUMANJI. Just so you know, there's a coloring book that you can get through Amazon. Just follow the link in my description and you can get a coloring book to show me how you color to how I draw. Okay, pencils first and then Sharpies. So if you want to watch the pencil portion of the video where I sketch the entire thing out, look in the description and you'll find a link that you can click on that will take you to the Sharpie portion of the video. I'll even include one for color. But for those of you that are going to stick around, I'm going to start off with a quick sketch for myself and get us going. Okay, so I'm having her in kind of a silly pose. Not really, okay, not silly, but as much as I want to draw like a thief, you know, and all that stuff, I gotta remember it's also the goofy little kid that's inside this, right? It's his avatar. So I'm gonna make him kind of like he's fighting but afraid. Does that make sense? So yeah, that's kind of what I'm going for real quick. Okay, let me double check. Do like this. Okay, I think that'll work. We're not too far right. I can still... Okay, we're right at the edge. Just got to be careful there. Let's see. Now I gotta add some detail because I got the positioning right. I think that's where I want to go with it. Add some detail for the hand here. What am I going to do with the hand? We're going to do a bit of a challenge. We're going to do that weird one. Yeah, hang on. Let me look in the mirror real fast. So something like... this. Okay. All right. I think that'll work. Ooh, it's a little stretched out there. Hang on. That's good, but it's too spread out. There we go. There we go. Okay, so that's what it is. I just had to clean that up a little bit. And then we're back in business. Okay, so let me draw some details here. So let's see, draw the inside of the coat like that. It's going to be hanging down and over. That'll help hide a few things. So we only have to draw so much. Okay, give us some of our tools. Okay, looks good. Okay. Alright. Did you guys like the movie? I love the movie. That was so good. I was talking to a friend of mine about the movie, and I was trying to describe that these kind of movies, they are the reason why I love movies. Special effects, big screen, all that fun stuff, you know. That's what I really love about the movies. It doesn't matter to me if it's art or cinema or, you know what I mean? I love that kind of stuff too, but I do also love big screen special effects. Now, if it's a bad movie, you know, it's a bad movie. That's one thing. But this was hilarious, and like I said, one of the main reasons I love going to the movies, because it's got everything. You know, action, special effects, and that's okay. So let me talk about that for a little bit too. Special effects. I am a huge proponent, fan, and give credit to special effects designers. I mean, I know how to do 3D modeling, so I also have a passion for it. But like the people that make that, because a lot of times you get sucked into a movie, you forget that doesn't exist. I mean, a lot of stuff that you see there does not exist, but people worked hard, you know, no 3D modeling and no design and all that stuff, and made it come to life. And Foley artists, people that made to design the sound and all that stuff, they all worked hard and know how to do that stuff and brought it all to life. And I appreciate that. I really respect that. A lot of this stuff doesn't exist if it weren't for them. And I also kind of am on the fence about crediting directors, because yeah, directors say I'd like to see it like this, and why don't you try that and make them move this way? Okay, but they don't do the special effects, they don't do the design, and they don't do the sound. So, or the costuming. Oh my god, the costuming too. Those people don't get as much credit either. But you know, it's all these people behind the scenes that just make it so beautiful. That's what I love about it, you know? So yeah, so I'm a big, huge fan of special effects and seeing it on the big screen. So I try as much as I possibly can go into the movies to see stuff on the big screen to get the full effect of what they were going for. So yeah, so basically what I was trying to say is this is one of those movies that it just screams big screen. You've got to see it on the big screen. Okay. All right. I think I'm about there. There we go. I did that forehead a little bit too high because I got her head tilted a little bit. Okay. All right, I think I'm ready. I'm going to erase some of these lines because I think I'm good to go. Oh. Gotta draw this in before I forget it. Her little sash hanging down. Okay, there we go. So, let me erase some of these sketch lines. And I'm going to stick with the confidence lines. And what I mean by that is, as I was throwing lines down, getting ready, trying to figure this out, I draw lightly. Those are the sketch lines. The more confident I got, the more I was happy with those lines. My pressure got harder, and my lines grew darker. So as I'm erasing, those initial faint lines, they're disappearing, because I don't need them anyway. And what's left are the darker confident lines. And so that's what I like to say is work with your confidence, never with sketchiness. And if you're working with pencil, you just keep going. You don't have to erase it all. I'm just doing this because I'm about to move on to Sharpie, and I want the Sharpie to stand out, not the pencils. Alright. Okay, so let's welcome everybody that skipped to the Sharpie part. Welcome, skippers. Welcome to the Sharpie portion of the video. Don't forget to like and subscribe because I do a different drawing every day. You can join along and have some fun. I'm going to be using a Sharpie fine point and a Sharpie pen, mostly the fine point, but the pen's a little finer than the fine point and can find things that the fine point can't quite find. I've sketched the entire thing out. What's left is a ghost of an image that I'm going to trace over with my Sharpies, and I'm going to start with the Sharpie pen because I can control the line widths much better. So I'm going to start with the face. Now the face, I have, imagine this is the front of the face. There's the nose. I have the head kind of tilted and down a little bit like that, okay? So keep that in mind when we're drawing. I'm going to draw the top of the eyelids first, just to see if I've got it where I want it. So see, I've got it more tilted down like this more. So if these are the eyebrows, I've got them more tilted down like that, okay? Okay, so I'm going to draw the iris, just a little bit of a round part, like that. And all I can really do for the pupils is just a little bit of a dot because these are so tiny that I don't want to draw more or I'm afraid it's going to bleed. And that being said, I also limit myself with my pencil lines too. So I'm going to give her just a little bit of a cat eye and come in just a bit like that for the bottom of the eye. Oops, like that. See, it'll start to bleed if I go any further. So come in and do that. Cat eye and in like that, and that's all I want to do because, like I said, it's going to bleed if I go too far. I'm going to give her an eyebrow like this, and remember I've got her head kind of tilted down, so it's kind of at an angle. Not really angry brow, but just at an angle brow. There we go. Not angry, angle. There we go. Okay, so for the nose, I'm going to give her just a little bit of a, because we're looking at the top, you can kind of see not the holes, but the top, like the round bulbous part, okay? So I'm just going to basically draw the shape of the nose. So again, I'm following my sketch, so that's how I can just do that real fast. I can give her a little bit of a bulb of the nose like that, but that's it. I don't want to go too far because noses don't have edges unless you're looking at profiles. So we're going to leave that to shadow and color. So now I'm going to draw her mouth. Give her a little bit of a smile like that, and I'm going to draw some lips, just little ones like that, and the bottom lip like this, and there we go. That's going to work for me. Okay, so I'm going to draw her chin right about here. I'm going to start to thicken this up too, because when I switch over to this Sharpie, you're going to see a huge difference in line width. So I'm starting to match what's going to happen. You don't have to if you don't want to. Like I said, I just do this so much I know how it's going to look, so I'm prepared for that. And it helps me to cover up any indiscrepancies. Like if I wanted to make it thicker or my line shook, I just smooth it out by getting on each side, whichever is appropriate to smooth out my line. Okay, so I'm going to draw her cheekbones. Come in a little bit. There's her jaw, cheekbone. Okay, a little bit too much on that one, a little exaggerated, but oh well, I'm going to live with it. That's what we did. And so now I'm going to start on her hairline. Coming in like this. I'm going to draw a little bit of an ear on this side. You can see more on this side over here. We'll draw it over like that. Extend that one up a little bit just to match it. And so now I'm going to draw her hairline, and I'm going to pull some of her hair back when I do it. Just kind of do like this just to kind of exaggerate that that's what her hair is doing, is being pulled back. Not all of it, just, you know, a lot of the lines just to kind of build a hairline and accent what it's doing. And also she's got her hair in a bun, so let me go ahead and draw that too. Something like this, and I'm just going to kind of accent that it's kind of wrapped around itself. Something like that. It's going to be mostly black anyway, so I'm not too worried about all the lines. But yeah, that's where we are. All right, I like it. How's yours coming out? Awesome. Okay, all right. And there we go. And look, let's smooth this out like I was talking about. There, we're just going to do something like that. That kind of hides where we were, and we'll see if we can hide that too. So I'm going to draw her neck coming down a little bit like that. Oh, it's time to switch over too. That's the other thing. Time for the other Sharpie. So now I'm going to draw a bunch of cloth, and I got one arm up and one arm down. So I was talking about this in the sketch that I got her kind of confident but not confident, because remember she's I can't remember his name, but it's that guy inside of her, you know. So she's a cool stealthy I almost said pirate, thief, but she's also that nervous little boy, you know, trying to figure that stuff out for himself. I'm drawing her handkerchief. It's hanging down. So yeah, so as much as I want to make her, you know, kick butt and look awesome, I also got to remember, yeah, but she's got to be kind of representative of us, not nerds. That's not a good word, because, you know, it's not a good word. Representative of us people that are into nerdy stuff. All right, so let's see. Let's draw her shirt on the inside right there. And okay, so I'm going to draw her jacket. So I've got her collar popped a little bit like this, coming down. Same thing here, going in like that, in like that. And let's see, we're just going to hang it down like this. We'll do this side kind of back behind that handkerchief. And let's see, I'm going to go ahead and draw it hanging over her leg like this. We'll do this one the same way, just kind of doing that. We'll go ahead and draw the other side since we're here. I'm going to bend it up a little bit because I do have her kind of squatted over, kind of a little bit hunched, I guess is the best way to say it. Alright, oh, you know what, let's draw that lapel, a little bit something like that. And we'll do this one too. And let's go ahead and draw this arm since we're here. We'll come back to the other side in a second. So we're just going to come down. And she does have a certain look to it. That's why I was drawing these actual like little edges in the design. Okay, there's her sleeve. And let's see, I've got it open a little bit like this. I'll add some detail on that in a second. I'm just going to... no, let's do it now. Let's do it now. There's no reason to forget or skip over stuff, you know? Alright. Okay. There we go. So for this hand, I just have it out. Nothing too crazy. So I'm just going to draw the thumb like this. Woof! It came out a little chunky. I'll fix that in a second. There's one finger. There's the middle finger. Ooh, that came out bumpy too. There's a ring finger. And we'll extend the pinky out like this, a little defined. Alright, there we go. A little Popeye hand, a little round in certain parts, so we'll clean that up. We'll just kind of accent certain stuff, clean up others. Let's see, it came out a little thin there, so we're gonna thicken that up. There we go, that'll work, that'll work. Something like that. I don't want to go too crazy. I tend to add too many lines on the hands, so I'm trying to keep it simple. But I am also trying to clean it up. Okay, that'll work. And you know what? Hang on, let me see. I think she has like gloves on too, right? He, she, I can't remember what we're going to call it. Yep, she does. So we're going to go ahead and close that off. That means we'll make these a little bit darker to make like a glove, right? There we go. Okay. So let's do the other one. The other one's almost the same way, but it's up a little bit. So I'm going to draw the shoulder like this. Draw to the crook of the arm, and I've got, because I do have her shoulder up a little bit. Let's do this here. See the edge of the coat. We're going to come up. I'm going to add some creases and folds. Basically, is what I wanted to show you. All right. So there. Oh, no, I'll do the rest. Hang on. Let me add these accents, and then we can build the rest of the arm. Okay. All right. Again, let me add some creases and folds before I forget, and make it exciting. Alright. Oh, you know what else I want to do? Hang on one second. I'm going to add just a little bit of accent for the collar right there. The little, like this piece. Because it's got a really cool design, and that's what I was talking about in the sketch, that I really, really appreciate and love all the special effects stuff that happens in movies. Even the designers and wardrobe people So that's why I kind of want to draw the cloth, everything as best I can to not represent, to appreciate everything they do. Alright, so this hand I'm going to do a little crazy. This one we're going to do something like this. And I've talked about it before. It's crazy to draw stuff like this because it doesn't look right. It looks like a little nub. But we got to get used to that. We got to get used to drawing outside of the box and drawing not a hand like this or like this. Sometimes you do this and you got to do the crazy, okay? So we just got to practice. We got to keep practicing. Even if it doesn't come out right, we got to always keep practicing. So for this hand, remember we're going to be doing this, so it's going to be a little crazy. So we're going to draw the thumb out like this. We're going to bend it in like that. It's going to go towards this finger. Again, I'm going to add some detail here in a second, so I know it looks a little crazy, but this finger is extended straight out. This one is starting to bend, so it's going to be a little bit shorter. Again, feels a little odd, right? Like it shouldn't be shorter than that one, but it's bent in. We'll add the detail in a second. This one is really bent in, and then this one is almost like a nub because it's pointed straight at you like that, so it looks like a nub. But we're gonna add some detail in a second to try to make it work. And even if it doesn't work, like I said, we're always practicing, always practicing. So again, like I said there with Popeye hand, I can see it's still not quite there, but that's okay. We're gonna keep going. So we're gonna draw a digit over like that. This one's kind of under itself. And this one's straight out, okay? So we're gonna go ahead and close that off because remember these are gloves. Let me fix the thumb here, like that. There you go, so just kind of give it some hand creases and folds. And that's gonna be mostly black anyway, but there we go. So there you go. So it's a little different, but it's this, you know? And so you just got to get used to drawing different stuff like that. And eventually that's going to disappear because it's not going to stand out. You're going to see the entire image. And at no point you're going to be like, that's not right. Or that's, you know, you're going to see it as a whole and it's going to make sense. And that's when it's going to be magic. All right. So we're going to draw the little thief packs that are on her belt. This, and it's like the old bat utility belt, you know, it's got a whole bunch of stuff in there. You just got to draw a bunch of pockets. All right, cool. Let's see, her shirt's hanging down a little bit longer, so we're gonna bring that in to cut through that. Okay, so now we're just going to draw some pants. And let's see, her crotch is right about there. So I'm going to bring the pants in like this. She's got like special little knee pads. Not special, but accented, kind of like the elbows and stuff like that. Little knee pads that are accented. So I'm going to draw some creases in her pants. Draw the other side like this, down to that knee pad. Something like that. Okay, so now I'm gonna draw it down to her boots. Go ahead and do both sides. And we'll add detail in a second. I just want to get there first. And oh, I don't think I got a good picture of her boots. I think they're just regular old awesome boots. So we're gonna make them awesome. All right. Okay, again, I'll add detail in a second. We have this one spread out wide because it's in a fighting stance. There we go. Okay, so again, I'm just going to add some creases for her pants. She's kind of in a wide stance, so you can say that's stretching out the material. And again, it's just good to always draw extra stuff to make it come alive, you know? Alright. we go. For the boots, let's just do here. Let's do this. Let's draw some laces. I've been doing this lately, just going full-on black laces. Because most of the time they're going to be colored black anyway. A lot of these boots are just, you know, black boots, so you're not going to see any of this anyway. So I just thought, you know, let's just do this. That will define that there's a boot there, or lace there. And I mean, yeah, like I said, it's going to be colored in anyway, so not too worried about it. Alright, so there you go. I say we take care of the rest with color. So that is Ming Fleetfoot from Jumanji. So here's my colored version. You can color it however you like. I just thought I'd show you how I decided to color it. If you'd like to color it like this, you can always pause the video here and use the coloring techniques that I used, or you can just make it your own. Remember, this is how I draw. You draw how you draw, and we'll meet somewhere in between. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more adventures on how I draw. Plus, don't forget to hit that notification button for new videos.